Hello everyone, it is Erin Floto here, and I am here with another bullet journal reacts video. Again, it's been a hot minute since I've done this kind of video as well. Max is here for the ride, apparently. So I looked at the comments of my last video and saw several suggestions for creative minds that coffee grinds. So I will be reacting to that video today. And if you haven't seen this type of video before, there's quite a few on my channel where I just watch someone's bullet journal set up and give my reaction to it. I mean, I'm getting these suggestions from my subscribers, my patrons, all of y'all. And so I know you guys aren't going to lead me down a wrong road. So every time I go into these videos, I just get really excited. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it if Max's tail is okay with that. And he almost fell. Cool. Ooh, purple.
Hey everyone, it's Tori.
You already
welcome
won me
back
over.
to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, I'm sharing my February 2022 bullet journal plan with me.
So really quick, I want to say every time I go into a bullet journal, I think to do those kinds of spreads so that way I can just kind of gather my thoughts about a theme, but I never do. And I've done them a few times and it's usually just like the page before, but I don't know what it is. I love those types of aesthetic pages where you put together the color palette, just like a little image that is like the basis for your theme, the lettering style that you're using for it, all that kind of stuff. So I just want to say I love that type of page.
Flip through it last month, and for January,
someone remind me when I do my next bullet journal setup, please.
I will have that plan with me linked in the cards and down below if you missed it.
Ooh, coffee theme.
For February, I went with a theme that I've always wanted to create, which is Paris, and I thought it would be perfect for this month because of Valentine's Day, and Paris is the city of love. The supplies I use in this video, as always, will be linked below, and a majority of the pens
one of the things I really like about their setup is that
if you're interested in
they have,
for yourself, you can use
they don't have the same theme,
for 10%
but
off your order at
you can see there's like an aesthetic there and an underlying theme. By the way, go for it because we love our affiliates with our channel.
And if you're new here, hi, my name is Tori, and I'm obsessed with gnomes to the point
where the gnome thing that's like
each
kind of going through, I really hope
wanted to put
they
a
do
beret
gnomes
on my
every
gnome
single
instead
month.
of like the stereotypical
and it does sound like
hat,
that's
but I was really
what
struggling to find
do.
a way to not make it look super flat and not gnome-like, I guess.
That's such a
when
good
creating
idea.
this gnome, I mainly referenced this picture that I will put on the screen here, and I loved how there was an extra layer between the beret and the gnome nose, so I wanted to try to emulate that with this gnome here as well. I also incorporated some other elements from this picture, like the heart on top of the hat, and also the little croissant in the gnome's hand. One of the biggest problems I had when I was brainstorming how to create this gnome was color palette. I wasn't a huge fan of the burgundy and orange on the reference picture, but I ended up settling on this darker raspberry kind of color and this baby pink, which are both Archer and Olive acrylograph pens from the Warm Fall set, and I'm pretty sure this is the 0.7 tip. Although I know they do sell the 3.0 pen tips, which are a little bit thicker. That set is fire, by the way. I know this is about
so I'm definitely going to try Coffee Mindset Coffee. So Creative Minds at Coffee Grinds. I don't know why I said coffee too twice. I kind of
brown
love
color
coffee.
is also in the Warm Fall collection.
But that fall collection,
the only
fire.
color that I use that is not from the Warm Fall collection
no lie,
is
my
this
favorite.
black, which I got from the primary set, but you can also get it as just an individual pen. I'm now going in with my 03 Sakura Pigma Micron to outline everything and finish everything off with coloring the nose, hand, and beard with some Tombow dual brush pens.
I like the outline. So if this were me, and this isn't like a criticism in any way, this is beautiful regardless. I think that I would have done the inside lines as the 0.3 and then maybe like take a 0.8 on the outside lines, because having that thicker outside makes the whole thing pop off the page, and then the inside lines give definition to everything. Because like, especially around the burgundy, it's a little bit hard to see the black because burgundy is a darker color. So having that thicker black line would have differentiated it a little bit. So I think that's maybe what I would have done. But regardless, the gnome is such a cute style. And obviously Tori loves gnomes, so.
And that is pretty much it for my Paris gnome, aside from some
and I love the simple little
hands.
hands.
A little bit later.
I
But
love
as
that
always,
look.
I would like you to comment down below what you think that we should name this gnome for my February Paris theme. I'm pretty sure I want something French. Me and my sister already call him Pierre, but I am totally...
Oh, it's a him. I was going to suggest my name, my French name. I took French for 4 years when I was in middle school and high school. So I was going to say my name, which it was Corinne, Corrin. If you haven't taken a language class before, a lot of language teachers like you to pick a French name or a Spanish name, or, you know, whatever language you are learning, so that when you're in the class, you're kind of going with the culture as well, because you learn a lot about culture, not just speaking the language. So I was going to suggest my name, but Corinne is not a boy name. Can it still be Corinne? Okay, I'm going to keep going.
Open for more options. And in a week or so after this video goes live, I'm going to post a poll of some of the names that I've loved that you've requested.
Is there more options including girls' names? Because I really want my French name to
I've
get
already
it.
done it for my 2022 gnome, which is Gnomeo, and my coffee gnome from last month is Brewster. Now I'm hopping into my cover page for February, which is this sort of bouncy faux calligraphy going across the Eiffel Tower. And I just wanted to keep this page in all black and white.
See, I think you need a girl one.
Simple, since the gnome took me so
Girls
long
can
on
have
the prior
beards.
spread. As for referencing pictures, I didn't really specifically
I just really want my
reference
name.
one picture. I kind of just looked at doodles of Eiffel Tower and the Eiffel Tower itself, like pictures online, and I just wanted to get a general sense of the structure and patterns of
I love when that happens, when like something that can be very complicated, you can simplify it down, and so you get the same effect, but with, you know, half the work, because you could have gone full crazy, which the Eiffel Tower does have so many design elements and so much detail, but I love the simplistic version of that style, because it's just so iconic. You don't need all the details.
Tape, and I actually moved it towards the end of the page on both sides and cut off a little bit of the excess to give it kind of a more different look, kind of like the washi tape is coming off the page or going on the page or what have you. And then I thought the header was getting a little lost in the Eiffel Tower, so I took out my Tombow Fuderonosque.
I agree. Thickening up those lines was a great choice.
And I actually ended up doing this regular calligraphy headers for the rest of the setup. And that is my cover page complete. Now we are moving on to...
Yeah, I definitely agree. That was a very nice aesthetic choice.
I wanted to switch up my habit tracker a little bit and go back to a layout I used to use super often in 2019 and 2020. It's this kind of grouped habit tracker where all the habits are together and not in their own habit grids, if that makes sense. I originally got this idea from Jashi Curran here on YouTube, and I'm tracking the same habits that I usually do.
Always, 10 out of 10 times will recommend Jess. She's a very, very good friend of mine. So I love seeing other people also inspired by her.
And I left an extra row just in case I want to track another habit this month. For the decoration on this spread, I needed to find a doodle that was more tall than wide to fit the space I left on the side of the tracker. So I found these Paris doodles on Pinterest, and that gave me the idea to do an old school kind of classy mannequin that has these swirly legs on the stand.
Yeah, that reminds me, so what, that's like a very classic, like Sex and the City type of thing where they reference a lot of
I was obsessed.
French fashion and things like that. So I do love that choice. I think that is a gorgeous choice, especially with the burgundy. I think that, oof, very nice, very nice. And that outline works to make those colors pop.
I added a little highlight to the mannequin with my white acrylograph, and now we are moving on to my anxiety tracker. For my
So
anxiety tracker, I was heavily inspired by PH Doodling's mood tracker from February
I'm
2020.
interested,
I just love the
and I'm
little bicycle with
sure
the
they
basket
have
of
talked
hearts
about
and the
this
hearts looking like they're
before,
shooting out of the
that
basket to color
about
in
their
based on
anxiety
mood or
tracker.
anxiety
So
each
I want to
day.
go
And I
back
decided
and
to go
look,
for a more wavy
because
route
I
for my
also struggle
hearts,
with
and I really
anxiety.
love how it
I
turned
really
out.
love that they are normalizing it and making sure that they're taking care of themselves first and foremost, that there's no stigma around this. So I love that, love that, love that so much. And I'm intrigued to see
This
how
green circle
this
stencil is
anxiety
honestly one of my
tracker
favorite
works
bullet
for them.
journaling supplies because I can't draw circles to save my
It looks
life.
very
And
similar
I
to a
also
mood
use it all the
tracker.
time as a ruler, so this will
So
definitely be linked down below if you want to check it out for yourself.
I wonder how, like, if they see trends
In
because they
addition
use
to the
this
hearts
type of
that I'm
tracker,
coloring in
because
for my
that's what I
anxiety
noticed
each
with
day,
like
I
a mood
added in
tracker
some
when I
tiny
used to
black
use
hearts to
that.
fill in the gaps
Is
up a
like
little bit.
oh, I love the black hearts, by the way. When I used to use a mood tracker, I would notice like certain days there's like a common theme, that
Now I'm
like I
just
would have a
coloring the
bad
bike
mood
to
on a
match my
Monday,
color
for
palette for
example,
this
because it's
month, and I
Monday.
also use my dark gray Tombow as well, and it does look a little bit streaky compared to the opaque paint pens that I also used, but I think it gave it more of a metal-like look to it, so I'm pretty okay with it.
Yeah, I think that's something that we can't really tell from this point of view, so it definitely doesn't really look streaky to me.
To finish off the spread, I have my key down the side just like PH Doodling, except mine says none, a little, a lot, and panic since I'm focusing on my anxiety instead of my mood. I ended up deciding to change my a lot color to gray instead of brown, so I cut out a tiny circle and just pasted it over super easily.
I like that choice. Because I feel like the brown isn't like a main color choice.
For my spread next
It's
to my
like
gratitude log, I used
it's
to
like
have
kind
an
of
expenses
secondary
log,
to
but
everything.
last month I changed it to a brain dump since I've barely been logging my expenses. But then I didn't even use the brain dump, so now I'm just turning it into a quote page for this month.
So I love that they are acknowledging that one of the great things about bullet journaling, in my oh so humble opinion, is that it just allows for so much flexibility. You don't have to work hard to make a spread work for you. You can build your spread based on what you know works for you, and you can try new things every single month. So if logging finances didn't work, which it doesn't for me except for my business TN, that has worked for me. But if I do it in my regular bullet journal for all of my other expenses, not my jam. I definitely like to use my bank's pie graphs and things like that to get a better idea of my breakdowns. And then they went with a brain dump page, but then didn't use that. So it's like, okay, let me try out a new thing every month and then let's see what works. And I love going to a quote page because that's kind of one of those things. Well, I can't really think about what else to do, and a quote page really emphasizes the theme, makes the theme pop, and is more of a fun element versus something that you're working for. So I love that idea.
The quote I chose is "Paris is always a good idea" from Audrey Hepburn, which I just thought was super classic and very fitting for this theme. I honestly usually never do
Very
quote pages
fitting.
because
They're
I
very
think they're kind of a
fitting.
waste of space and something I just never go back to. It's a function in my journal, and quote pages really aren't that functional. But I'm at a loss of another tracker that I need in my bullet journal to put here.
I
So
just
if you
talked
have
about
any
this.
ideas for me,
That's so
please
funny.
leave them in the comments below. However, I am really excited that I found a...
Let me think. So I did the same thing while I was working on my setup for February. And one of the things that I thought about was so I bought my own house. So I have a lot of DIY projects that I'm working on. So for me, I thought, okay, well, what is something going on this month that is going to be a major thing for me? And that was doing some of the renovations to my office. So that's one of the things when you're coming up with these themes that, like, yes, you can look at a bunch of collection ideas on Pinterest, on YouTube, on wherever, but it really comes down to what is going on in your life and what can you put together to aid that in your bullet journal? So that's something that I thought about for mine, that like you'll never see an office space renovation page on a collection ideas for Pinterest or in a blog or anything like that. But that's something going on in my life. So my biggest thing that I always suggest to people is sit down, think about what's going on in your life. If it's a major project at work or school or something like that, maybe you need a spread focused on that particular thing. So something that is going to impact you on multiple days and will make things different in your life. So something major that's going on. Maybe you are going on vacation or visiting family members and you need to plan an itinerary or something like that. So things that you don't normally see in a blog post about what collections you can add.
Place to incorporate this Paris skyline doodle at the bottom of this spread. I think it looks so awesome, and I love the simple fairy lights at the top as well.
Yeah, those are cute. And I like that you didn't go with like light colors, you know, like golds and silvers, that you still went with the themed colors. I like that a lot. And I like the silhouette skyline for sure.
For my gratitude log, I again stuck to what I know and created these 8x3 boxes to write one thing that I'm grateful for each day in a different font. And this idea originally came from Tracy Tyler Revel here on YouTube. I feel like I say that all the time, but I want to give credit where it's due. And to incorporate the Paris theme,
I love that you want to do that. That's really important to me, is crediting other artists, crediting where your sources of inspiration come from. So kudos to you. As someone that's doing Macaron's theme, I love that you added this as well. It just seems very February. I don't know why. Although I don't think I'll be allowed to eat them except for maybe like Valentine's Day or something like that. Because I'm trying to be better with my food. The outline adds so much to those macarons, by the way.
My 2 lines a day spread is just a place for me to memory keep and journal a little bit about each day. And I doodled some perfume bottles in the top left corner and bottom right corner to tie in the Paris City of Love theme. I actually have kind of a funny perfume story if you want to hear it. So for Christmas, I asked my boyfriend to get me perfume 4 years ago. When we first started dating, I told him I wanted the Marc Jacobs Daisy perfume. And I finally got it this Christmas. It is our 4th or 5th Christmas together. And I finally got it, and I'm obsessed with it. So I just had to draw a kind of Marc Jacobs Daisy style perfume right at the top there. I know that the Marc Jacobs Daisy has flowers at the top, and this one just has a flower in the front.
That's funny. I love that this doodle is for you. You know, that you are incorporating you into your bullet journal. I love that.
4 years ago, which perfume I told him, because it's not like I was hounding him to get the perfume or anything. He just somehow remembered, and I thought that was really sweet.
It was. Good job, boyfriend.
There were a couple of empty spaces, so I decided to take some more of the washi tape that I used on my cover page and put it here. And this polka dot washi tape is honestly one of my favorites to use in my journal and my planner.
Yeah, it's
cute. I got
cute.
it from Stationery Pal along with a ton of other pens and washi tapes that I'm obsessed with. And if you want to get some from yourself, you can use code CMCG12 for 12% off your order at stationarypal.com. We have reached the final spread of my February bullet journal setup, which is my monthly review. And I always look forward to filling this out at the end of the month because it really wraps everything up for me and gets me excited for the month coming.
I keep getting washi tape, and I don't really use it all that often. So I'm like, well, why am I buying something that I'm not using often?
That I just print off of my Instax printer for my phone. For future, I reflect on what I'm excited for and nervous about the month coming. And on the right page, I have space for my monthly favorites like movies, TV shows.
I saw
YouTube
this
channels,
spread in
books,
the
songs,
previous
and
month. So if you want to see how they incorporate this spread, definitely check out the beginning of the video where they have it, where they're reviewing their month. Because I am super interested in creating a monthly review page. I usually end the month with like a paragraph or something
At the
about like
bottom
what
of
went
this
on
spread, I
in that
left a
month,
space to
but I
redraw my
want to
Paris gnome just
incorporate
like I
more
did
things
last
like
month.
favorite
And
things of
instead
that
of writing,
month and
hello, my name is,
what
like
are
I
my
wrote last
biggest
month, I
memories,
wrote
what are
Bonjour,
my
je
major
m'appelle, which I'm
accomplishments,
pretty sure means
things like
hello,
that.
my name is in French in my very butchered American accent. I left a
Yes.
blank space to write his name when you all choose it, and again, I will be looking through the comments and have a poll up on my community tab for you all to vote within the next couple days after putting out this video. Other than that,
When
I'm
you
just
do
coloring
next
everything
month, can you
in,
do a
adding some
girl so that I can
titles,
be
drawing
Corinne?
and coloring my gnome, and then this spread is pretty much done.
I love the color accents. Love, 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 love. And especially how it's like going with the pale gray as well. But the gnome character is so cute. I truly hope that you keep that going throughout the entire year, because that's one of the things that I've wanted to do since I started bullet journaling that I still haven't done, is have a consistent theme throughout the year, but have it vary enough that for me I don't get bored. That's one of the things I love about different themes, is that I never get bored with my bullet journal, because there's so many things that you can do for a theme. So, but I love that underlying theme with the gnome. Still with the croissant, so cute. This was such a cute setup.
We are
I
now
just
entering the final flip-through portion of today's video, and I
final
want to
flip-through.
encourage you all to comment down below what your favorite spread was from this video, and also what is
my
your
favorite spread, your
February
monthly
theme
review.
for your bullet journal.
That is one of the things that I have wanted to incorporate into my own bullet journal, is a monthly review page, and I love that you have a collection like that. And I like that it's at the beginning of the month, because I keep trying to save my reviews till the end of the month, and I don't think that really works for me. Because then I forget to do it. So I like that it's incorporated with all of your monthly pages. So I think that's one that I would incorporate in the future. Anyways, I hope that you like this bullet journal reacts video. If you do, let me know some other folks that you want me to react to down below. And definitely go follow, subscribe, all the things to Creative Minds That Coffee Grinds. And I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.